Hi guys, how you doing? Happy New Year. I hope you had a good break like myself. Now, we've got quite a few videos to do this month. Now, I want to crack on with the beat matching. Last time we did a video on cueing the track, so hopefully you guys have practiced that and you're quite good at doing it. So let's crack on with that. Now, let's just remind you what beat matching obviously is. It's basically getting, if you have two tracks, it's getting them playing at the same tempo so that the beats align. That's beat matching. Now, let's take an analogy with cars. Now, let's say, actually, if you, as always, if you click on the link that's in the description, it takes you to a post where I've actually got pictures explaining this. That might help you a lot better than this. I don't know. Okay, so let's say you've got cars. You've got a car in the left lane, car in the right lane. They're traveling at the same speed, which is what we want with beat matching. They're both going at 20 miles an hour. The thing is, one car's ahead of the other car, but they're going at the same speed. They're not beat matched then. I mean, the BPMs are the same, but the beats aren't aligned. What we need is for both tracks, i.e. both cars, to be going at the same speed and to have the beats aligned side by side as well. So if you can't do that bit, getting the beats aligned, there's no point trying to do beat matching and working out the correct BPM because you've got nothing to measure with then. So the first technique that you need to learn is how to release a track to get the beats released on time. And that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so let's get on your decks. Now, the first thing I want you to do is get two tracks, one on either deck, with plenty of beats, and what you want to do is get their BPMs the same. At the moment, we're not going to try and correct the BPMs ourselves. We're going to start with the same BPMs. Now, if you're using CDJs, there's a built-in BPM counter, so you can use that. If you don't have that, you are using MP3s, you can use some software to work out the BPMs. Use the pitch percentage method I talked about a while back, but somehow or another, just get two tracks that are pretty much at the same BPM. And they might go out of sync after a bar or two, that doesn't matter. We just want a couple of bars for them to be in sync. Okay, so what have I got here? I've got on the right deck, I've got a track that's looping around. On the left there, I've got another track which is at 136 BPM, the same. And what I'm going to do is practice releasing early. Now, you guys should have known by now how to checking the time, that's fine. So you guys should know by now how to count beats and bars. What I'm going to do is basically play the second track, the second deck even, and I'm going to start counting bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first beat of the bar, I'm going to hit play here. And what I need to do is basically hit play here, bang on the first beat of the bar, so that the first beats of both tracks are in sync, so they're travelling at the same tempo. And in line with each other. Okay, that's what I want to do basically. Now, that's the first thing you need to practice, so let's do that. So I'm going to play this one. Hopefully you can hear me on top of this. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and hit play. 1, 2, 3, 4, play. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's not completely right yet, but keep practicing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happens if you don't hit it on time? Let's do it a little bit early. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds quite awful if you don't do it on time. So the thing is, if you don't do it on time, how do you correct it? Now let's go back to the car analogy. We've got two cars, both travelling at the same speed. Now the thing is, if this is my deck 2, this one's playing. Now what I do on the first beat of the bar is I hit play on this one and hopefully get them both aligned. If I hit this one too late, if I hit play too late, what happens is this one's gone a bit further, then I hit play. So I'm behind now. Same tempo, but I'm behind. So the way to correct that is I need to accelerate this one for a while until it gets in sync again, and then just take it back down to the original BPM. Now one way I could do that is change the actual pitch tempo slider control and change the BPM, but an easy way is to use the jog wheel. You've got the side of the jog wheel. Now what this does is if I move this clockwise, it accelerates the track until it stops and then it goes back to the original BPM. The faster I move it, the faster the acceleration. Anti-clockwise decelerates the track. So let's go back to, let's start with releasing the track a little too late. So if I release the track a little too late, I'm going to be behind. I need to accelerate this to get the beats in the line again. Yep. So let's try that. I'm going to release this too late. You'll hear that it's wrong. Then I'm going to move this until it gets correct again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's wrong there. Accelerate. Back in sync again. Yep. Should we do that again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Too late. Kind of in sync again. Okay, so now the opposite is true as well. If I release too early, I'm going to be ahead, so I need to decelerate the track. Think of a bit with cars again. So if I release this car too early, then before that one gets released, I'm ahead. So I need to decelerate. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not in sync. Decelerate. I think I went a bit too much there. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not in sync. Keep going. In sync. Yeah? Now, the question you might ask yourself is, how do you know when you're actually doing the beat matching, if you've released too late or too early? Now, the thing is, if the actual kick drums sound different on both tracks, you might be able to use that as a cue to which one's which. And you might, when we actually start doing beat matching, I mean, another technique that I might go through is, let's say, tapping your foot to one of the decks and then trying to hear the other one so you can work out which is which. I mean, I'm not really good myself at doing that yet. What I tend to do is, I try and correct it in one direction. If I go to, if I can hear that I'm going, if I've gone the wrong direction, then I go in the other direction. So how do I do that? Basically, think of it like this again. So if let's say this one was released a little too late, then it's going to be behind. Now, I need to accelerate that. So what happens if I decelerate it? It's going to get worse. So I'm going to be able to hear the beat's getting more and more out of sync. So it kind of sounds like horses galloping. And the closer the galloping footsteps are, the closer you are to correction. So if you go in the wrong direction, you get worse. So let's try that. This time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release it late. And I know I need to accelerate it, but I'm going to decelerate it. And let's see what that does. Okay. So release it late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right. Out of sync. Let's decelerate. The galloping is getting worse. So I need to accelerate. Galloping is getting better. Back in sync. It's quite hard to hear it on here. I mean, once you start practicing, you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. The more you do it, the easier it'll become. I mean, let's try that again. Release it late. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decelerate. Galloping's getting worse. Yeah. Accelerate. This is the galloping. The beats are getting closer. Now they're in sync. So one thing you can practice is, I've got enough time, or I've got a minute left. So one thing you can practice is just play the tracks and keep messing with the jog wheel. Mess it up and correct it. Mess it up and correct it, like this. Mess it up, go back, correct it. Mess it up the other way. Correct it a little bit. Back in sync. Mess it up. Correct it. So if you keep on doing that, messing up, correcting, you'll start getting a feel of how to actually correct it and which direction to move the jog wheel in. So keep practicing that and don't watch the next video until you've actually got the hang of that. You need to be able to release on time, or if you don't release on time, then you need to be able to correct it pretty quickly. So I was trying to keep this tutorial short, but they never are they? Okay, so that's what we'll do. Next time, I'm going to actually do some beat matching as well. Once you learn that skill, then it'll become easier to do the next step. So practice that, and come on the forums and let me know if that didn't make any sense, because maybe I could have explained that a bit better. I don't know. Just let me know. Alright guys, see you next time.